Ricky, you and your brother probably might define the term track brats. I mean, when your dad was racing in IMSA in the early '90s, I was announcing him back in the era. I'm dating myself here, and I remember you guys as little kids running around, and you've obviously progressed to the very top echelons of your category of the sport. But talk about immersion right from the get go here. I mean, you grew up at the track, didn't you?
Yeah. I think my first memory of the Corvette drivers when Cadillac and Corvette shared a hospitality was Kelly Collins running in, and Jordan and I were playing on the beds, and he was trying to sleep in the middle of the night at Le Mans. So track brats, unfortunately, might have been our first reputation at the track.
A little bit too accurate, maybe, for some of the other
Yeah,
guys of the era here. Your dad, obviously, Wayne. When I was announcing him, I mean, he was at the top of his game, won championships. So you were born into that pedigree. But at that age, did you have any understanding really of just how special he was as a driver? I mean, obviously, you've seen it as he progressed, and obviously in his role as a team owner, but he was special in the day.
yeah. He tells us too. No, no. I mean, we probably respect it more now that we're um, living in a similar world to where he was living. He obviously had to make his name from scratch. He came from South Africa, which has a very small racing community and racing industry, and lived the American dream. Really, he moved to America. He started a team. Before starting a team, he made a career as a driver. Then started a team, and now it's one of the best teams, one of the best sports car teams in the world. And I think from every angle, he's been very inspiring from the driver's side. I think, which is what you're referring to. Um, we just saw him kind of go off to do his thing, and if he won, that was cool, and he got a trophy. But now we're starting to see how difficult those things were, and the big race wins that he was able to accomplish, and especially from where he came from, and earning all the steps along the way is definitely as cool as he says it is. Let's say.
By my count, you've had 9 races so far in this season. You get 350 points for a win, 35 for a pole. That's a lot of points. You and Philippe and that's your teammate Albuquerque are leading the points by 19. I mean, could it be any closer going into the final round of the championship? What a year. What a way to end the DPI era.
Being told right now that the 10 will enter the final race of the year, 19 points up on the 60, exactly the lead they had last year as they went to Petit Le Mans. Wow. What irony. Up the front straightaway, they just need to climb the hill, the 60, hoping the right front stays on. But for Konica Minolta, Wayne Taylor Racing, they have broken a winless streak. Philippe Albuquerque, Ricky Taylor, Acura, they take the win at Road America.
Yeah, it's such a great it summarizes what the DPI competition's been like. Really, we come into the last race. The last 3 years, it's been a battle right down to the last race weekend, and it never seems to be easy. We always wish for it to be a boring one where we just kind of escape into the distance, but it never seems to go that way. And it just says so much about the series and the level of competition in the sport that you can never let your guard down. And especially between our main rival, the 60 this year, every race has been a dogfight. We can't seem to get away from them anywhere. So to come in Petit Le Mans, if it was a normal 2 hour, 45-minute race, we'd be, amped up and excited and ready to go. And it would be a very difficult challenge. But to do it at Petit Le Mans, which is on its own such a monumental challenge with 10 hours at one of the most difficult tracks in the world, that's going to also be one of the most densely compact in terms of car count. It's just going to be grueling for sure.
I've said for years that to me, it certainly seems that the Petit Le Mans, in the realm of international endurance races and, the legendary ones, from the 24-hour races to Sebring with the bumps, all of that, mentally, the Petit Le Mans to me would seem to be probably the most taxing because of exactly what you're talking about. Immense closing speeds between the prototypes and the GT cars. Absolutely nowhere that really the track rarely is going straight. Everybody's changing directions, and it's short. And as you said, it's loaded with cars. There's no rest mentally for 10 hours, is there?
No, there isn't, and I think everybody kind of gets ramped up. It's a good thing it's the last race of the championship because everybody kind of gets warmed up throughout the year, and it kind of builds to this sort of insane final race.
In the midst of the Motul Petit Le Mans, and we saw the craziness that happened to Helio Castroneves. Did you see the black and blue Acura flash by in there? Well, if you missed it, that was Ricky Taylor. He took the lead right there. See everybody else off to the side. Castroneves back on, but now he's going to get hung up in traffic, and that's where Taylor sneaks through. It's just using that traffic as a pick.
You know, there's obviously the GT side, which even watching the race from outside, you know, makes me nervous. But from inside the car, it's very intense. And the unique thing about Road Atlanta is, for some reason, you know, most tracks, a lot of racetracks, and it becomes a bit of an oxymoron that, you know, slow is fast, or, you know, don't overdrive the car, and you know, slow hands are quicker and smoother, and whatever the rest of it is. It's kind of an oxymoron at this point. But Road Atlanta doesn't play by those rules. It's, you know, fast is fast at Road Atlanta, and the harder you push, the more the lap time is rewarded, and the faster you seem to go. The minute you take any of the pressure off, the lap time drops, and it's that way for a clear lap and for traffic, because when you're in traffic, the same rules apply. You want to get up to the GT car as quickly as possible, because people are doing rather unpredictable things at this racetrack. So being on the scene when things happen is kind of where you want to be to be able to get through it as quickly and safely as possible.
Yeah, it's a mega race. I think it is the absolute perfect place to have a championship finale, because it is the ultimate test in so many different ways: strategically, driving ability, patience. You know, one of those things that race car drivers aren't exactly known for sometimes, going down through those S's and not, you know, trying to stuff it in there, all those different equations. Hey, Ricky, I got to tell you, you know, you won the championship in 2020 with Helio.
7th car of Taylor and Helio Castroneves right behind in second, virtually assuring Acura of the Manufacturers' Championship.
In sports car racing, it's all about the manufacturers, and all the biggest manufacturers in the world are bringing the best of the best to this series.
Well, it was a great result. Obviously, as you mentioned, we want to win, but as long as we keep up, getting there, getting close, giving ourselves the opportunity to win, it will come.
Which was obviously huge. Second last year. But you and your dad and your team won the championship in the first season of DPI. You've got a chance to win it in the final season of DPI. We hope you do. We wish you the best of luck, and really appreciate you taking some time to visit with us here and sort of set the stage for what's going to be an epic finish to the DPI era. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I hope we can do it. Thanks for having me.